The Supreme Court backed cryptocurrency XRP. Gary Gensler, the head of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, has expressed his dissatisfaction with the current condition of the cryptocurrency and blockchain business. This is not a secret. However, regulatory agencies are not the only components that make up the United States government. Several senators in the United States do not agree with Gensler's viewpoints and have expressed opposition to the SEC's regulation of crypto assets. It is possible that individuals who provide investments or services related to crypto assets are not adhering to the applicable regulations, which may include federal securities laws. An investor in crypto asset securities must be aware of the possibility that they would be denied access to essential information and other essential safeguards in connection with their investment. Gary Gensler, Gensler, is using this 8th of January, 2024. Various perspectives held by members of the United States government have resulted in a landscape that is uncertain and unstable for cryptocurrency ventures to construct if they are incorporated in the United States. A portion of the issue is the ever-evolving and ambiguous method by which the SEC determines what constitutes a security and what is not. This issue is exacerbated by the fact that the agency employs the Howey test, which is a metric that many people in the cryptocurrency industry consider to be out of date. Nevertheless, the United States government establishes laws in a manner that is distinct from that of the governments of many other countries. What are the restrictions of the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC? And how can anyone determine whether or not it is beyond the scope of its authority? The two cases that are currently being considered by the Supreme Court of the United States might considerably restrict the kinds of definitions that are used about cryptocurrencies, thereby allowing the industry to once again expand in the United States. Relentless Inc. versus the United States Department of Commerce and Loper Vers. Raimondo are the cases that are now ongoing on the docket lately. A murder committed by smart contract. Author Ari Jules has released a crypto thriller. It has been mentioned on the blog of the Supreme Court of the United States that the issue at hand in both instances is potentially clarifying the extent to which government agencies in the United States exercise their judgment in an interpretation of the law, rather than what Congress has declared. The Chevron deference, in which a long-standing fisheries conservation rule was read to require fishing vessel owners to fund the expense of onboard monitors, is exemplified by the Loper case, which is an example of the practical ramifications of the deference. Some people believe that this is an arbitrary application of the regulation, which would result in the imposition of fees that are not sustainable on smaller enterprises and could potentially cause them to declare bankruptcy. The precedent of the Chevron deference was established in the court case that took place in 1984 between Chevron and the Natural Resources Defense Council. This precedent has a substantial impact on a variety of businesses, including cryptocurrency. Take a look. Come along with us as we demonstrate the transformation brought about by cryptocurrencies, one newsletter at a time. So become a subscription right away to receive daily news and market updates delivered directly to your email, along with our millions of other subscribers. These millions of people adore us. What are you eagerly anticipating? The reverence of Chevron. What exactly is the Chevron deference then? In general, the United States Congress is not an expert in any subject because it is comprised of a diverse group of individuals who continually move in and out of government. To facilitate the development of a procedure that is more targeted and efficient in its enforcement of laws, Congress has delegated the enforcement of laws to administrative agencies. The administration and enforcement of laws passed through the legislative process are the responsibilities of these authorities. According to the Legal Information Institute of Cornell Law School, the Chevron case decided that federal agencies could enforce laws as long as the actions taken by a federal agency in carrying out the law were not unreasonable and Congress did not directly put forth legislation or remain silent on that part of the law. This decision was made in the context of the Chevron case. After the Securities and Exchange Commission stated that it wanted to advise the court of a default judgment that was rendered the previous week, Coinbase responded by stating that it wanted to inform the court that the trading of certain cryptocurrency assets on secondary markets constituted securities. Coinbase stated in a notice that was submitted on Tuesday that the default judgment should not be given any legal weight. The efforts of the Securities and Exchange Commission to use a ruling from an insider trading case to strengthen the agency's lawsuit against the cryptocurrency exchange are being met with resistance from Coinbase. In a notification that was submitted on Tuesday, Coinbase responded to the Securities and Exchange Commission's statement that it sought to advise the court of a default judgment that was rendered by another court the previous week. According to that verdict, the acquisition and sale of particular crypto assets on secondary markets is considered to be the trading of securities. A judge awarded default judgment, which means that a defendant has failed to appear before the court, which culminated in the conclusion of the insider trading case that was brought before the court last week. The case concerned Samer Rahmani, who was acquaintances with Ishan Wahi, who had previously worked as a product manager for Coinbase, and Nikhil Wahi, who was Nikhil Wahi's brother. In the decision that was handed down on March 1st, Judge Tana Lin stated that the default judgment was appropriate, in part because it looked like Rahmani had gone around the country. According to the legal document that was submitted on Tuesday, Coinbase stated that the default judgment should not carry any weight because the Wahi order was obtained against an empty chair. Its rationale reflects this specific fact. According to a statement released by Coinbase, the company respectfully requests that the default judgment against Mr. Rahmani should be given no weight for consideration. Coinbase further stated that the SEC's application for a default judgment did not even address the Ripple issue, nor did it include an analysis of transactions on the secondary market. The total, with Frank Shapiro's new Bill Weekly email, you can stay abreast of the most recent information regarding cryptocurrency and decentralized finance, including news, trends, charts, and opinions. Input your email address. You can also subscribe to our weekly Dated Insights newsletter and the daily, all of which are free. When you sign up, you are indicating that you accept our terms of service and privacy policy. The Securities and Exchange Commission SEC filed a lawsuit against Ripple in 2017 for what it claimed were unregistered sales of XRP. This case resulted in a partial victory for the cryptocurrency industry. Following that, in July of 2023, a judge decided that the sales of XRP to institutional investors were considered to be unlawful sales of securities, although blind bid sales to retail customers were not. Previously filed lawsuits before this, the Securities and Exchange Commission had previously accused Ishan Wahi of leaking information to both his brother and Rahmani on the date of the exchange's public listing announcements. This information included specifics regarding which cryptocurrencies will be available for trade. Last May, Ishan and Nikhil Wahi reached a settlement with the Securities and Exchange Commission SEC regarding allegations that they engaged in insider trading. The Securities and Exchange Commission, filed a lawsuit against Coinbase in June. The agency stated that the exchange was operating illegally as an unregistered exchange, broker, and clearing agency during the period in question. The company has made a case for the dismissal of the lawsuit, which has resulted in experts reaching a variety of conclusions regarding the likelihood of such a result occurring. The introduction of cryptocurrency has brought about a change in the financial environment with a variety of digital assets providing investors with chances that are one of a kind.